So we have Steven Dollar from Reach Local. Steven, what do you guys do at Reach Local?
Well, we were founded in 2004. We built a platform that sits on top of Google AdWords to make it really, really easy for SMBs to basically run Google AdWords. And then since then, we've kind of added to our paid ad products, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, a lot of that.
That's awesome. So you specialize primarily in like the brick and mortar and the SMBs of the world.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about the approach of getting started with paid ads, because the big question is, what channel do I need? Which channel have the highest ROI? And these are the sort of things that they go through. So tell me a bit about your approach at Reach Local of identifying per business what channel to start with.
Absolutely. So as y'all probably know, most small businesses want leads and they want the phone to ring. So if that's the case, we're always gonna say paid search. If you have a local business, a local service business that is kind of highly searchable, so if it's in-home services, education, if you're a dentist, people are online right now searching for you, you wanna be there. So you wanna own some real estate on Google, so we're always gonna kind of push you towards that strategy first. And then from there, we're gonna go out and it's gonna be more branding and content, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, and we just kind of work off of Google, depending on what your business is and where you are within your marketing world.
So between Google and the Bing Ads network, is there any relevance? Because not a lot of people do Bing Ads, or not as many, I would say, as Google. Have you seen this as a good channel for SMBs?
I do. So the way our platform works is we like to say we're publisher agnostic. So we're not just married to one publisher like Google. Now, Google generally brings in 80 to 90% of the traffic whenever we run a campaign, but we're also gonna put your ads on Bing and some other what we call secondary publishers that actually do drive traffic and leads to your site or make the phone ring just like Google. But Google is kind of the king right now, and they account for, like I said, 80 to 90% of the traffic. But we're gonna put your ad everywhere, and then our platform is gonna optimize and the budget towards whatever's working.
Oh, interesting. So when it comes to the Facebook and Instagram paid ads, it can be very lucrative if you've kind of figured out what's the niche audience, you've done that segmentation testing, the messaging and all that. Does that work with certain types of businesses, like the restaurants of the world with like some good visuals versus the plumbers of the world?
Yeah, so this is what I tell a lot of my digital agencies that come do business with us that are selling to advertisers, is that regardless of what business vertical they're in, their client base is going to be on Facebook at some point during the day, during the week. Now, for instance, if you're a plumber, most likely no one's going to Facebook to look for a plumber, but they are going to need a plumber at some point and they're on Facebook, so why wouldn't you want an ad or your brand in front of their eyeballs on Facebook? So I would say in any vertical, it's probably you should be on Facebook, but what we've seen work really, really well, especially over the last 2 years, is video. I'm gonna tell everybody, get your cell phone out, get in front of the camera, introduce yourself to your local community on Facebook, and you're gonna win. Absolutely.
That's awesome. So that's my last question on actual the YouTube ads. You said you do YouTube ads.
We do.
Well.
Yep.
Now obviously video is king. There's many companies here doing videos and video content. Do you feel like as a SMB, what's the relevant message that should be pushing out through video in order to drive leads?
Ooh, that's a
tough question.
That is a tough question because, well, let me just say this, the power of YouTube is their targeting capability.
Yes.
So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world right now, behind Google, obviously owned by the Alphabet company, owned by Google. So again, just like Facebook, your client generally can be found on YouTube. So how to drive leads through YouTube is, there's a lot of agencies that do a really good job of what's called a video sales funnel. So put a video on YouTube with a pre-roll ad, If someone watches, let's say 50% of that video, then we can retarget them with another video and we can start bringing them down the sales funnel directly on YouTube over a certain amount of time. So that's one strategy that we've seen well that works. But again, the power of YouTube is just the incredible targeting that you can get in front of the right person.
That's awesome. Well, what's final question?
Sure.
That was the previous one was before the last, but what's the kind of recommended budget for a business that you guys kind of on the paid ad spend?
Gotcha. So that's kind of a tough question too, because every business, every category, and every market is just going to be different. So if you're a dentist in a small town, it may not be as competitive if you're a dentist in a larger town. But kind of the rule of thumb in 2019, I know some local businesses may not want to hear this, but generally around $1,000 is going to be a good, healthy budget. And again, it all depends, but to answer your question, $1,000 is going to be a good, healthy budget. If that's a little too much for pay-per-click or for your marketing appetite, then I'm going to say get on Facebook and just market the hell out of yourself.
Yeah. And obviously, once everything is tweaked, you guys help optimize ROI, the customer acquisition,
exactly,
click-through rates, which is something important to know. These are metrics that if you're doing paid ads, they don't have to worry about working with you.
Right.
But then the $1,000 eventually will start to make sense.
Yeah, so I mean, the value proposition of our platform, like I said in the beginning, we've been around since 2004. So we have 15 years of data science and technology that whenever you bring on, let's say a plumber brings on a campaign, we've probably ran 30,000 plumbing campaigns. So we've learned a lot. Our platform has learned a lot, and we're always optimizing towards conversions, the right keywords to really maximize the budget that we have on the platform. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Steven, thank you so much. It's very helpful. Where can we find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn at Steven Dollar, and always feel free to shoot me an email, steven.dollar@reachlocal.com.
There you go, reachlocal.com. Thank you so much.